another video for you with new stories from Ethiopia, Eritrea and Sudan. Firstly, a breakthrough to resolve tensions in Ethiopia-Sudan relations. PM Abiy held a meeting with General Abdul Fattah al-Burhan, Sudanese army chief, a few hours ago. A second news story is from Oromia. We know that a few days ago, a famous Nashida reciter, Ustaz Kamal Hebbo, died. His death has been confirmed. Fingers were being pointed towards Oromo Liberation Army. Ustaz Kamal joined OLA last year. Fingers were being pointed that OLA was involved in this killing, that it was due to internal fighting that Ustaz Kamal died. But now an OLA commander has spoken about Ustaz Kamal's death. Who is this commander? What did he say? We have a clip as well, you showing Ustaz Kamal with OLA fighters. A third news story is about ongoing protests. I am Fano, protests abroad. We have some picture for you from Stockholm, Sweden. Fourthly, Tigray External Affairs Bureau released a statement a few hours ago about Tigrayans in detention. 3 groups of Tigrayans are in detention. What does Tigray government want? Fifthly, we have a new story about iconic Ethiopian athlete Haile Gebreselaisse, who spoke about the war, about TPLF in a talk a few hours ago. Haile Gebreselaisse tried to mediate between Tigray government and Ethiopian federal government before the start of Tigray war in November 2020. Later, he sided with Ethiopian PM Abiy. What is his position now? Lastly, a viewer shared a video with me. The video is from Eritrea. He said, Sajid, you report conflicts in Ethiopia, Somalia, Djibouti, Sudan. I have this clip for you, and this clip proves that Eritrea is much, much better and on the right track when you compare Eritrea with Ethiopia, Sudan, Djibouti, Somalia. We have a clip for you. I'll show you the clip, then we'll talk about it. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopia-Sudan border tensions. The two countries are involved, have been involved in border clashes since last year after Sudanese military took control of disputed territory. Al-Fashaga forms a fertile strip of land spanning across 260 square kilometers on Ethiopia-Sudan border. Since last year, off and on, we have seen clashes. Last bout of clashes was seen a few days ago, and Sudan accused Ethiopian military of having executed 7 Sudanese soldiers after they had been arrested by Ethiopian military. Ethiopian military denied the allegation. It said that it was due to clashes between an Ethiopian militia and Sudanese army, that Sudanese soldiers were killed. Later, Sudan launched artillery strikes on Ethiopian territories. Ethiopia is about to start third filling of GERD as well, the dam, and Sudan and Egypt have been opposing the fillings without legally binding agreement. So, tensions have been there, tensions are still there. Now, a breakthrough to resolve these tensions, that a meeting has been held. The meeting was held between Ethiopian PM Abiy and Sudanese Army Chief General Abdul Fattah al-Burhan, top man in Sudan these days. Meeting was held the sidelines of IGAD summit. Today, IGAD is holding its 39th Extraordinary Heads of State Conference in Nairobi, Kenya. IGAD is an 8-member regional trade alliance. Ethiopia is part of IGAD. Sudan, South Sudan, Eritrea, Djibouti, Somalia, Kenya, and Uganda are IGAD members. And a meeting of IGAD presidents is underway, IGAD's heads of underway in Nairobi, Kenya. PM Abiy is there. Sudan's Burhan General is there. From Djibouti, Ismail Omar has arrived in Nairobi. And Uhuru Kenyatta is hosting, he is there. From Somalia, Hassan Sheikh could not attend because he is in Turkey. So on his behalf, I think Vice President is there. Don't know about Eritrea. Of course, Isaias is not there. Is there anyone on behalf of Eritrea? Don't know. Incoming videos will try to update you. So at this summit, on the sidelines, there was a meeting between Sudanese Army Chief Abdul Fattah Burhan and PM Abiy. After this meeting, Ethiopian PM Abiy released a statement, a message. What did he say? He said, "In my discussion with General Abdul Fattah Burhan, we have agreed that our countries have plenty of collaborative elements to work on peacefully. Our common bonds surpass any divisions. We made a commitment for dialogue and peaceful resolution to outstanding issues." So PM Abiy seems to be saying that both General Abdul Burhan and PM Abiy, they have agreed to resolve outstanding issues peacefully. No statement from Sudan so far. Ethiopia does not want any escalation at this point of time. I've been saying that Ethiopia wants to press ahead with third filling of GERD. Ethiopia wants to de-escalate the situation. And that is one of the goals of this IGAD summit, to pacify the situation, to control the escalation on Ethiopia-Sudan border. So it seems that some progress has been made. The two leaders have been seen together. You can see the pictures. Abdul Burhan and Abiy Ahmed can be seen there having a meeting. Will this meeting translate into peace in border areas? That remains to be seen. Ethiopia is about to start third filling of GERD. No signs that Sudan or Egypt will take any action, make any move to stop Ethiopia from the third filling. We'll update in coming videos about third filling and about Ethiopia-Sudan border situation. Secondly, viewers, Oromia region of Ethiopia, where a famous Nashida reciter was killed a few days ago. On the 22nd of June, I think he was killed. His name is Ustaz Kamal Hebbo. Muslim by religion. I think he's from RC. And Muslim majority area, I think. And last year, after Ethiopian general election, he joined Oromo Liberation Army. Since then, he has been working, has been fighting along with Oromo Liberation Army against government forces. A few days ago, we received reports about his death. I contacted an OLA spokesperson. He confirmed his death. He said he had been martyred. Where was he martyred? Who killed him? We don't know. Now, an OLA commander has spoken about Ustaz Kamal's death. Meanwhile, unconfirmed reports are being shared that Ustaz Kamal died in internal fighting in Oromo Liberation Army. But OLA denies these allegations. This OLA commander a few hours ago was interviewed, and he said, his name is Jal Sabaif Galgo. Jal Sabaif Galgo. He is Southeast Zone's commander of Oromo Liberation Army. He denied reports that Ustaz Kamal was killed in infighting. He says Ustaz Kamal was killed, he was martyred, he was fighting government forces. So OLA has denied, though no statement from OLA so far. No official statement from OLA about the death of Ustaz Kamal. And several Oromo scholars, they are calling into question OLA's position that Ustaz Kamal died fighting government forces. We have this clip for you showing Ustaz Kamal seen with OLA fighters reciting a Nashida, I think. Watch this clip, the next news story.
Mootummaadhaan godhu hudii keenya karaarraadha kabiteensa hagayum qalamni keenya seenaa dhiigaa barreessa rakkoon ummata keenya inni har'aaf kaleessa bilisoomne ofiin jedha osoo jiru gabrummaa keessa kanaafaan sagaleessa yoo rabbiin naaf haamsiise hammumaan danda'e nu barsiisu ummata Oromoo kabiyya ofirratti abbaate. Sikadanne ya ilahi ya moti motummansa koni gutu walgahe nugarsi summa Oromo kabiyya ofirra tabbate sikadanne ya ilahi ya moti motummansa koni gutu walgahe.
Thirdly, viewers, I Am Fano global campaign is underway. More than a month ago, Amhara diaspora abroad announced the launch of this movement. Rallies, protests have been carried out in Europe, in America, in Canada. This campaign was launched after Ethiopian federal government, Amhara regional government launched a campaign against Fano to dismantle Fano. Those Fano factions which are independent are being targeted, their leaders, their commanders are being arrested, and only those Fano factions are being allowed to operate which are under the control of Ethiopian National Defense Force and regional forces. Fano factions from Gajam, especially Zabina Kasi, Masrisha, are under crackdown. This campaign was launched because thousands of Fano fighters have been arrested. They're in detention in Amhara region. We have seen several rallies in the US, in Canada, in Germany, in France. A few hours ago, a rally was held in Stockholm, Sweden. You can see pictures on your screen. The pictures are from Stockholm, Sweden. I Am Fano global rally held in Stockholm. Amhara diaspora is now openly accusing Ethiopian government of being involved in Amhara genocide. It is planning to lodge a complaint with International Criminal Court as well. It is demanding inclusion of civil society in expected talks between Tigray government and Ethiopian federal government. It has rejected the government's committee formed by the government a few days ago to talk with Tigray regional government. So Amhara diaspora, you can say most members of Amhara diaspora, they are now against Ethiopian federal government of PM Abiy. Fourthly, was Tigray External Affairs Bureau released a statement about Tigrayans who are in detention. Tigray External Affairs Bureau says tens of thousands of Tigrayans are in detention. Three groups are in detention, three groups of Tigrayans. Firstly, common Tigrayans, ordinary civilians. Secondly, members of Ethiopian National Defense Force, Tigrinya speaking, who were arrested at the start of Tigray conflict in November 2020. They are in detention. Secondly, Tigrayan migrants who returned from Middle Eastern countries when they entered Ethiopia, they were also put in detention camps. So thousands are there in detention camps, and Tigray government referred to a report by Human Rights Commission of Ethiopia, which released a report a few days ago that there are more than 8,000 Tigrayan detainees at detention camps in Afar. Though at the same time, Tigray government accused Human Rights Commission of Ethiopia of being partial, of being pro PM Abiy government. Government of Tigray is demanding the release of these Tigrayans. Tigray government a few days ago released more than 4,000 ENDF prisoners who were captured in Tigray and out of Tigray, mostly out of Tigray, in last year's war. But Ethiopian government did not reciprocate. It did not release any Tigranian-speaking members of ENDF or other Tigrayans in detention. Now Tigray government is addressing international community that it should put diplomatic, economic pressure upon Ethiopian government so that these innocent Tigrayans could be released. Will these Tigrayans be released? That remains to be seen. But Tigray government wants international community to play their role. We have seen statements from the EU, from the US, from the UN calling for the release of these detained Tigrayans, but so far they have not been released. Thousands are in detention camps, especially in Samra, Afar. Fifthly, viewers, an iconic Ethiopian athlete who tried to mediate between Tigray and Ethiopian federal government today spoke. His name is Haile Gebreselaisse, known for his outstanding record when he was an athlete. Haile Gebreselaisse traveled to Mekelle in 2020 before the start of Tigray conflict in November. He some other Ethiopian religious leaders and others, they traveled to Mekelle and they tried to mediate, but the mediation did not work, and ultimately in November 2020 a war broke out. Ethiopian federal regional forces supported by Eritrean military launched a military offensive on Tigray. A day before that, Tigray regional forces stormed ENDF's northern command bases in different cities of Tigray. What is Haile Gebrselasse's position now? After the start of war, he supported PM Abiy. He supported government's action, government's military offensive on Tigray. Now he says that TPLF should learn from the destruction which has been caused by this war. He says Ethiopian elders, leaders tried to resolve the conflict before November 2020. Conflict could not be resolved due to lack of positive response from Tigray government. So he is accusing Tigray government that it's because of Tigray government's lack of positive response, mediation did not work. He says people suffered, but people of Tigray suffered more. And now all should back peace process. TPLF, Ethiopian federal government, all should back peace talks. At least he is in support of peace talks, because still there are some individuals, some groups in Ethiopia which want this war to continue, which want elimination of Tigray Population Fund. So Haile Gebreselasse, though he supported PM Abiy's military offensive on Tigray, but now he wants everyone to back peace efforts. Lastly, viewers, a viewer shared a video with me. He said, Sajid, you report conflicts. Watch this video from Eritrea. Watch this video, then we'll talk about it. Sajid, you see that people are having fun in Eritrea on beaches, summer season. Eritrean diaspora travels to Eritrea during summer season. And in Ethiopia, you are seeing Amharas, Oromos fighting, Tigray, Amhara fighting. In Djibouti, Afar, Somalis fighting. In Somalia, Al-Shabaab there. In Sudan, you're seeing what's happening, that hundreds have died, clashes, protests, demonstrations. So Eritrea is much more stabilized in this region. Credit goes to Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean ruler. Why don't you acknowledge? Well, I never said Eritrea is a destabilized country. I always speak about freedom of expression, freedom of press, human rights situation in Eritrea. Secondly, if there is peace in Eritrea, peace should translate into prosperity as well. If peace does not translate into prosperity, it means that peace could be a form of terrorized peace, with some individuals, some groups in command, and others don't have any say. People are scared. That is why everything is peaceful, like graveyards are peaceful. So peace does not always mean that everything is all right in a country. What matters is that peace should convert into progress and prosperity, which is not happening in Eritrea. Problem is that in Eritrea, people lack access to information. One radio station, one TV channel, one newspaper, all owned by government. Eritrean diaspora is not affected by what is happening in Eritrea. They visit Eritrea, they have fun, then they return to the countries where they have all the freedoms there. What about the people of Eritrea? So people of Eritrea, yes, their rights are being denied. It's up to the people of Eritrea to decide what they want. We can only point out what's happening in Eritrea. So what we are seeing in Eritrea is that a system of government is in place, imposed by a few individuals, a few groups, you can say. Broader participation of Eritrean people in this system is missing. That is why their rights are being denied. And that is why we're seeing that institutions could not be built in Eritrea. You have army, yes, you are training other regions, other countries' armies too. What about other institutions? Eritrean diaspora is supporting Eritrean government relying heavily on foreign remittances, some natural resources as well being extracted, and aid too, not food aid, but other types of aid. Other projects are in operation in Eritrea. So overall, the stability which people say is in Eritrea, it could not translate into prosperity. It means there is something wrong, which should be addressed. People's participation in running Eritrea should be enhanced through some mechanisms which can be decided by the people of Eritrea, by the government of Eritrea. If Eritrean government is ready to consult the people of Eritrea to make them stakeholders in running the country. Thank you for watching.